Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm a former cross-country runner, tennis player, volleyball player, football player. I just love all kinds of sports, and I got really into stretching. A few of my friends have asked me about my stretching routine before, which is why I decided to make this video. And this stretch routine is mostly for runners, but has been developed from my cross-country team practice days to knee problem days. So it ranges the whole spectrum. Let's give it a shot. So the first thing that we like to do after we run, for some reason, is to stretch our arms. So we're gonna start with arm across our body. Every stretch we do is gonna be for 30 seconds on both sides. And yeah, if you're doing this in a group, you can count off, having one person count off the odds and the rest of the group call out the evens. But here we'll just have some silent time, whatever you want to do right now, and I will just kind of count in my head, go with the flow. So we'll switch to our left. You can give it a little shake in between, a little arm swing between your first and your second reps as you're switching arms there. So a lot of runners ask why you stretch your arms first after you run. What's the point of that in a routine? Well, a lot of running coaches will tell you that your arms are one of the most important parts of your running routine. We'll do right arm over. And I mean, you don't really use your arms strenuously when you're running, but it is an important part of your form. So yeah, I'd say it's good to give it a stretch, good to give your whole body a stretch. I mean, even sometimes my arms feel a little tired after a really long run. Switch. So yeah, why not? If you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can add in to your triceps stretch a little bend to your side. That will get your entire lateral here as you're stretching. All right, let's move into our legs. So the first stretch is straight down. So just the shoulder width apart and bring it all the way down. Yeah, I mean, you can just go as far as you want. Usually what I've noticed over the 30 seconds is I maybe start here, but later I'll be able to touch my toes. Now that I've been doing this for a while, I can almost comfortably touch the ground from the get-go. But usually with one hand each, and later I'll be able to have both hands on the ground pretty comfortably. The important part is not necessarily having your hands down, it's the weight of your body moving forward, bringing the stretch to your legs. So now we'll do right over left. This is the same thing, but it just kind of focuses a stretch on your back leg, which here is our left leg. And so it will just give us a deeper stretch, one leg at a time. We'll switch after this. And yeah, it just feels great. All right, we'll switch. See, I'm curious what other types of sports teams do for stretches. I know for our cross-country team, our track team, we had the same thing. We'd always have the captains lead the stretches after practice. And yeah, that's kind of how I memorized these stretches, doing that my senior year for both of those teams. And so, yeah, I feel like the best way to get a stretching routine is to come up with one and then to memorize it by doing it every day, by leading other people in doing it, or whatever will get you going. So our next set of leg stretches are our quad stretches. So just start with whichever leg you want. I don't know why I start with my left leg when I start on my right side for the other ones, but yeah, I guess it's because we go right over left first. And so this was the first leg we stretched in our right over left stretch. But important thing about the quad stretch is you don't want your knee to come forward like this. you want it to be as parallel to the ground as possible, and you don't want your hip to go back or forward. You want your hip to be as straight as it can be. So you want to be as parallel as you can get with your quad. All right, we'll switch. So I've learned the quad stretch is one of the most important stretches for your knee health. Second to that would be an IT band stretch, which we will do later on. But next we will go down into a butterfly. So an alternative to the butterfly is to do splits instead. So sometimes while I'm standing, after my quad stretch, I will go straight into my splits instead of doing a butterfly. But after a long run, sometimes it's nice to get to sit a little bit earlier, right? So in review, so far we've done 2 arm stretches, arm across, and then our tricep arms over. And then we've done 3 types of leg stretches. We've done our just full leg going straight down. We've done our quads, and now we're doing our kind of groin area with the butterfly. And then we want to go back and reinforce our main stretch. So this is basically going straight down, one leg at a time, but on the ground. So we'll just get our entire leg. You'll feel some in your calf, your Achilles, but it'll kind of get your entire hamstring back there. So yeah, by this point I can kind of get a lot of my hand over my feet there. I think I was inspired to stretch more watching Novak Djokovic. He has some of the most incredible flexibility that you will see on the tour, and yeah, his flexibility just enables him to reach for balls, recover after balls really fast, and makes him probably the best player to have ever played the game at his age, even now. So at the time of this video, he just won his 24th Grand Slam. Maybe I'll put a picture here of me with him. I was at the US Open when he won it, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, so we're switching here, just keeping to 30 seconds. I used to count out loud. You can use a stopwatch, a timer, if you want to be pretty precise. But yeah, over the years, I think I have developed a mental clock of 30 seconds. So I would recommend you starting by counting out loud to yourself, with a group, or using a timer, until you can kind of train your feel to what 30 seconds is like, or how long a nice stretch feels, which will be about 30 seconds. All right, now we're gonna move into our glute stretch, which we can call knee hugs. You're gonna have one leg out, have one leg come in here, and you're just gonna hug your knee into your chest until you feel it down your leg into your glute. After runs or tired days at school and after practice, I would call this my napping stretch, because you can just kind of rest your head on your knee and take a nice little nap for 30 seconds. Close your eyes and just be outside, take it in. After this, I just like to put in a little twist. Usually crack a few bones in my spine. Feels good. Opens up my rotation, and then we'll switch to the other leg. So you'll feel this stretch, especially after doing a workout with sprints or an exercise with sprints, whether it's tennis or basketball. Yeah, you'll feel your glute especially tight. And so you want to do this right after you exercise, or sometimes I like to do it after I shower, after I take a hot shower and exercise, where my muscles will still be equally warm, which will be conducive for a nice stretch. You never want to wait until the next day to stretch. You will feel the soreness that you could have prevented by stretching, and the soreness is not indicative of your muscles getting that much stronger. They're more indicative of you having to recover more for the same amount of work that you've done. So next is this IT band stretch. You just kind of put your leg up here, and then you push this leg into your chest. This will be our second to last stretch, but I added this stretch recently after I had some knee problems. I learned that tightness in your IT band will track your kneecap outward. Your IT band is here on the outside of your thigh. And so this has actually, I think, saved my knees. If you're having knee problems, there can be a lot of different reasons you have knee problems, but it will be nice. You can switch here to check if it is an IT band problem by stretching it regularly for multiple weeks and seeing if that does some help. Other things that help knee problems include doing kneecap massages. You can just kind of move your kneecap around while your leg is straight on the ground, and you can kind of, just like have it be loosened up a bit. I think that was an interesting thing I learned on YouTube. All right, lastly, we'll do some calf stretches. This is one way to do a calf stretch that you're probably not familiar with. It's, you're stretching the top leg here in the calf. It's stretched by pushing out the heel this way, using your lower leg, your lower foot, and it kind of has a dull aching stretch on your calf. You can do the other forms, such as being on the ground and pushing your left heel down into the ground. That's also fine. If you're doing this on a track, it will hurt your hands more being on the track. The other way to do it, of course, is standing. You can either push against the wall or put your foot into the wall. Two different ways to do calf stretches there. Either is fine. I'll just show the ground ways here. But again, our cross-country team liked doing this form of calf stretching because it's just easier to do. And that just about does it. Stretching is an integral part of your health, your physical ability, your athletic ability, and just your overall wellness. It makes you feel good on a nice day. It's a sweet 10 to 15 minutes you just spend outside. I do some of my best thinking while I'm stretching. It just calms me down. So give it a try, come up with your own routine. Interested to hear any of your thoughts, questions, ideas on stretches in the comments, and enjoy the rest of your beautiful days.